Got a box for your sample.
Great, just put it right there.
What is it you guys do?
You don't know?
No what?
Of course you don't know. I guess that's the point of all this.
I'm sorry, you lost me.
We monitor and collect every unnoticed service, sacrifice, or deed that moms do for their families. Oh, please. Melissa Richardson from Franklin, Ohio, just cleaned Sam and Charlie's room. Neither will notice.
Would that just happen?
4 minutes ago.
Where did she get that information?
Well, I'm not really allowed to say, but you know. Here and there.
Okay.
There's another one. Sarah Pfeiffer from Long Beach, California just made her 100th lunch in a row without a thank you, Mom. Haley Copper from Jefferson, Texas just did her daughter's forgotten chore of milking the goat. Gross. And last but not least, Jennifer Wright cleaned the whole house, top to bottom, and her husband didn't notice. Ah, and we have video.
You have video?
Check it out. Hey, babe.
Hey,
How was your day?
pretty busy.
Oh, yeah?
What do you think?
What do you think about what? Hang on, I gotta get this. McGuire! He didn't even notice.
So, do you do this for dads as well?
Oh, yeah. It's just a smaller division.
Dads don't do good things for their kids?
Oh, no. They do lots of good things. It's just moms do an exorbitant amount of unnoticed things.
So, how many people do what you do?
Well, this office has 3 shifts, 8 hours a shift, so 3 of us.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
That's it.
So you probably run into a lot of unnoticed acts.
And that's just this office. There are over 5,000 offices worldwide doing exactly what we do. They just keep coming in today. Treated and bandaged the skin knee. You see this one a lot. It's unbelievable.
I wonder if any of my moms are in there.
What's your full name?
Akron Lanier Watts.
A-K-R-O-N?
Yeah.
Wow, looks like your mom's done a lot in there.
Really?
Yeah, typical stuff. Doing lots of laundry, cooking, cleaning. And your mom worked part-time.
She did?
Well, it looks like. Wow.
What?
Your mom also prayed for you.
She prayed for me.
A lot. Well, looks like you picked a good mom.
Yeah, I picked it.
Happy Mother's Day. I learned a valuable lesson on Friday. When your wife's the pastor, don't ask what you can do for Mother's Day. I got to do the message. It's going to be short. It's going to be direct. And bear with me. So, thank God for mothers. We'll just move right on into this. Motherhood is one of the highest callings. In fact, without motherhood, the world we know today wouldn't exist. Let's take a look at some of the greatest mothers in the Bible. Mother number 1 was Eve. She was the first woman on earth. She had no mother. Isn't that weird? She had no mother. Never really thought about that. She had no female role model. Most mothers have female role models. She didn't. She was the first wife. She had no female to coach her through being a wife, through dealing with a husband. She probably started the wife look that husbands all know. Look. And the husbands do this. So with that happening, that's when we first found body language. Okay, so she was the first mother. She had no one to help her understand what was going on inside of her. You know, I can just see him sitting around. She's going, no, I don't feel so good. And Adam's going, you know, you're putting on a little bit of weight. Maybe it was something I ate. Okay. She was the first mom to experience the death of a child. She didn't have another woman around to help her through the grieving process of that. That's pretty tough. She was the first mother of a dysfunctional family. Imagine that. Dysfunction started in the family way, way back with the first family. Her son Cain murdered his brother Abel. Now that's a dysfunctional family. Isn't that amazing? The very first family. So what can we say about Eve? With Eve, God brought human relationship into the world. Before then, it wasn't human relationship. It was just Adam and the animals. With Eve, we have human relationship, we have friendship. Also, Satan deceived her and used Eve to bring sin and death into the world. Okay? Not a happy note to end on, but we'll get back to that later. Sarah, mom number 2. I'm not going through all the moms, just a few. Okay, Sarah was one of the most important moms in the Bible. Sarah was the wife of Abraham, and she eventually became the mother of the nation Israel, even though she was barren. In an effort to give her husband Abraham a son, to fulfill God's promise to Abraham, Sarah gave Abraham her handmaiden Hagar to produce an heir. Now back in those days it was okay to do that kind of a thing. Nowadays it's probably not the thing to do, but back then it was okay. So you could do that kind of thing. Later on, 3 heavenly beings, disguised as travelers, appeared to Abraham and repeated the promise that Sarah would bear a son. And she did. His name was Isaac. Isaac would father Esau and Jacob. Jacob would father 12 sons who would become the 12 tribes of Israel. From the tribe of Judah would come David and finally Jesus. So it was this promise that God had given to Sarah and to Abraham that this would happen. So what can we learn from Sarah as a mom? Well, Sarah's lesson was a lesson in waiting. She got impatient like we oftentimes do. And she decided, you know what, I'm going to help God out. So what I'll do is I'll give Abraham Hagar. And we'll do it that way. Anyways, that wasn't necessarily God's plan, but it worked out anyway. So, waiting for God to act in our lives can be difficult. And we don't always like the results. Nothing is too difficult for God. She did end up bearing a child through Abraham, and that was Isaac. Sarah looked at God's promise from her limited human perspective, which led her to step in and help God out. How often do we do that? How many of you moms have done that in your life? Probably a few. Okay, now we move on to Rebecca. Rebecca was an interesting mom. She was an aggressive mom. She wanted what was best for her kids. And she didn't make any bones about helping God out in facilitating that. Okay, Rebecca, she was the wife of Isaac. She was barren for a time too. Being barren back in those days, that was kind of like a disgrace. You didn't want to be a barren mom or a barren wife, and you couldn't be a mom. Okay, she finally gave birth to 2 sons, Esau and Jacob. Esau was the firstborn, but Jacob became Rebekah's favorite. So here's a mom that plays favorites. Has any mom played favorites? As a child, did you ever feel like your mom played favorites to siblings? Sometimes, sometimes not. Okay, when the boys grew up, Jacob tricked Esau into selling his birthright for a bowl of stew. Now, when they were born, they were twins, but Esau came out first, so he got the birthright. Now, think about this. This is the guy that's going to have the birthright of the family stuff, you know what I mean? This guy is so smart, and he traded for a bowl of stew. Think about that. It's a good thing he didn't take charge of his family. All right. Later, when their father Isaac was dying, Rebekah helped Jacob deceive her husband into blessing him instead of Esau. What a wonderful wife. There you are, you're laying on your deathbed, you're sitting there, you're ready to bless the eldest, and your wife comes in and goes, here it is, here is Esau, and she's handing you Jacob. What a wonderful wife. So anyways, Jacob gets blessed instead of Esau. So, Rebekah was a mom who played favorites. Even on her husband's deathbed, her actions caused the split between her 2 sons that had long-ranging consequences. She had the split of the kingdom that started way, way back then. Okay, at times, Rebekah took matters into her own hands. And sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't. And sometimes with disastrous results. That was a lesson from Rebekah, one of the greatest mothers in the Bible. Okay, here's Jochebed. This was the mother of Moses. The Jews had been in Egypt for like 400 years, and they were beginning to grow large in number. And the Pharaoh was beginning to get a little concerned because, well, he has this whole bunch of Hebrew people that are slaves. And they're probably not really liking being slaves. So he's getting a little concerned about that. So Pharaoh became afraid of them because there were so many. He feared that the Jews might rise up against them. So what he decided to do was, I'm going to pass an order here, and we're going to kill all of the male Hebrew babies. And we'll put a stop to this right now. So Jochebed heard of this. So what does she do? Well, she takes her newborn baby, which is Moses, wasn't named Moses at the time, probably wasn't even named yet, puts him in a basket, puts him in the Nile. So baby Moses goes floating down the Nile, and the daughter of Pharaoh's out there, she's bathing. And she goes, hey, what's that basket over there? She has one of her maidens go over there and get the thing and bring it over. She finds this little baby in there. She likes this little baby. She goes, you know what, I'm going to keep this little baby. So, years later, when Moses was used to free the Hebrews, years later, after he grew up in the kingdom of the Pharaoh. So, anyways, you can see where God took this place of desperation and was able to free his people from slavery from Egypt, which was a very interesting thing. Okay, Jochebed also, she gave birth to Aaron. He was the high priest of Israel. So this lady, she did a couple of big things there. So one of the lessons from Jochebed was, by letting go of her son and trusting God, her son's life was spared. And he was given to a loving household. Can you imagine that, putting your baby in a basket and having to just go down the river? And you're going, you know what, all I can do is trust God. And she trusted God. And in trusting God, a miracle happened. That little baby grew up and freed Israel. That's an amazing feat. That's an amazing model. So, the lesson from her life was faith. She had faith that God would find a home for her baby. And sometimes we have to turn things over to God too. We have to have that faith that, you know what, we don't know what's going to happen. It may look bleak. And sometimes at the darkest moments when we hand it over, God does these miracles. These things like saving Israel, that kind of thing. God can always do something greater with our situation than we can. Now we move on to Mary. Everybody knows who Mary is. She was the mother of Jesus. She was a young servant girl who had recently become engaged to Joseph, who was a carpenter. Her life took a major change when the angel Gabriel came to her and announced that she would give birth to the Messiah. I imagine she was probably freaking out. She's like, what the heck are you talking about? I'm not even married. How's this going to happen? She would suffer. This honor would come at a great cost. It wasn't a good thing to be an unwed mother back then and to be pregnant. It just was not a good thing. Her fiance could have had her stoned. So this wasn't a good thing for her. She was probably scared. Her son, Jesus, would be rejected and hung on a cross to die. She submitted to God's plan for her life. She probably didn't know what was going to happen to Jesus. She probably had the same thought that all the disciples had. That, you know what? I've got this baby. I've been promised this baby, and I have this baby here. And this baby's going to grow up into be a man. This baby's growing into being a man. And what he's going to do is he's going to overthrow Rome. He's going to save our people. That was probably her thought process. She wasn't running around when Jesus was crucified. She wasn't running around saying, you know what, he's not going to die. He's going to lead our people into freedom. She was probably just like the rest of us, scared, didn't understand. Didn't understand until after the resurrection of Jesus what he really stood for. And something that's very, very interesting about Mary and how God works is, you see at the beginning, the first mom, Eve, well, Satan tempted her, and he was able to use her to usher in this sin, this death. So what's God? God could have sent a Savior any way he wanted because he's God and he can do whatever he wants. But he chose. He chose to use a woman. Because of Mary's faith and obedience, he chose her to give birth to our Savior. It could have come some other way, but he chose a woman to do this, to redeem us from death. And also in doing that, to redeem a woman. You think about that. He could have done it any other way. God could have done it any other way, but he chose a woman. Isn't that wonderful? That's just so awesome. So like I said, this is a short sermon. We're at the end now. So what I have to say to you as moms is, could any of you, or all of you, or some of you identify with some of the characteristics of these great moms in the Bible? Have you done some of those things? Have you thought those kind of thoughts? Have you had those motivations to try to make things work out better, try to do these things, make bad decisions? All I can say is you don't have to be perfect to be a great mom. You just have to be faithful. And you know, if you screwed up as being a mom, you're in the ranks of the greatest moms in the Bible. Isn't that cool? So what I'd like you to do, I'd like all moms to stand up. And I would like to say to you, thank God for mothers.